Okay, so I had a dream, right? Because we're gonna try to get through like the awkward beginnings, because I'm getting kind of more used to this. But I had a dream, no Martin Luther shit. And like in the dream, pretty much is I was kind of like dumped into I was pretty much like dumped into a lava, like a volcano. Pretty much I was dumped into a volcano, and like pretty much like I remember like being in my head like, oh, I'm dead as fuck, like I'm dead as hell. And just like trying to imagine, I guess, like what it would like possibly feel like to be like, I guess, melted alive, you know what I mean? Like that's like some serious shit, you know what I mean? So or like to see if you would feel it, for how long you would feel it for before you would die. And like I was just being very curious, but I remember just that was just being part of the dream. I was like dipped into it, and like I died pretty much, whatever. And like I guess later on I was journaling this morning, and I happened to create this analogy, this phrase, where I was saying that that I wonder if my ego is like brave enough to face the flames of my spirit, so that it can be like made anew, like brand new, you know what I mean? Like, so whenever you work on iron, right, you work on iron and like making a sword, like sharpening a blade, like refurbishing it, you know what I mean? Like it goes to the fire, it goes to the flames, it has to, you know, everybody's speech is, or everyone speaks of purity when it comes to going through the flames, you know what I mean, going through the fire. Same thing with like, you know, fucking working on yourself. Same thing, you need the hammer, you need the flames, you need all that. So like, is my ego brave enough to go through that, what my soul wants to put me through, you know what I mean, what like, you know, the universe, God wants to put me through? And so pretty much like yes, because like last year I did the same thing, you know. I had last year, I know like a lot of people, I may be just that guy, but like I know a lot of people say like, don't, you know, ask God for like this and that, you know what I mean? Like don't ask God for, like, if you want strength, don't ask God for like strength or like trials to get like stronger and stuff. Last year though, I asked like for all the trials for me to like really like wake up and get working on, because I just didn't like the version of the person that I was. And did I receive? Last year was probably like, in 2024 was probably like the fastest year for me, low-key, like one of the fastest years for me. And like not only was it like one of the fastest years for me, but it was also one of the hardest. And I learned a lot and had to confront a lot of myself because of what I asked for. I asked for self-development, I asked for growth, I asked for change. That's exactly what I got. But that took up to me to like confront that, like, and really like be brave enough to go through those trials, you know what I mean, go through that flame and like be worked on like that, because like it's hard and it's scary and like it's tough, you know what I mean? Like you are essentially going through that type of stuff alone. Oh, I was saying yeah, you have people like rooting for you, you'll have people like speaking to you and like, you know, giving you advice and stuff like that, but they're on like the sidelines. It's only you and life in the ring, you know what I mean? It's only you and God wrestling in the ring, right? So like and so it's really up to you. Like I like made like, I had like this analogy like in my head, like this idea where it's like you have to come back to the fight, you know what I mean? You got 10 seconds or you're out, right? And then you have to come back into the fight with like a bloody nose and a bloody bright smile, you know what I mean? Because like you're in like, you're, how do you say, enthusiastic about the trials, like about the strength that you are, like, once you start recognizing, like when you start tapping in and once you start recognizing your potential as like who you are as a person, and like when you start taking like a little, like, I'm gonna be honest, life a little bit more seriously, or more personally I should say, when you take life a little bit more personally, when you take the bullshit that you go through in life a little bit more personally, other than besides like, oh, it is what it is, like when you take it a little bit more personally for your own self and like work on yourself through it, like through those trials, that's like very important, because life will continue to knock you down if it can, and it will. You know what I'm saying? Like, it will continuously knock you down until it sees that anger and grit that's like inside your soul, that like it pushes you so far that you get angry and you want to like do something about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's like low-key how I've been treated. And like and I got angry. I've always been like, you know what I mean, like ever since a kid I've always been. But like I got angry, and I started working on my shit. You know what I mean? I got fed up and tired of like how I was and everything, and how things were moving, and how things were changing, and how I wasn't growing, and how I wasn't like evolving and getting stronger and this and that. Like, there was something placed upon my spirit, and I got angry because I wasn't going for it. I was being weak-minded, you know what I mean? And like, for you to understand, but like, this is the thing though, because for you to understand strength, you have to understand like weakness, right? You have to experience, you know what I mean? If you want to value your strength, you have to value what it means for you to feel absolutely like dog shit. And like I said, that's just how it is in life and in the world right now. You know what I mean? Like, the more that, like I said in my other videos, like, the more that you get accustomed to the idea of that, the better that you'll understand why you go through certain things in life, and the better that you'll start to be able to, once you better understand it and like use your own brain. Because like, I feel like that's another thing. Explanations and how things have to be explained, or for you to understand, doesn't have to be the exact same way that I understand it, because we have two different minds, two different universes, different bodies, even though we live on the same plane, right? And so with that being said, if things are better like translated in a different light, then bro, like, if you see better in red, and like, what I mean by like red, I had this conversation with a friend of mine yesterday. Red, it can mean two different things, right? It can mean passion, pleasure, passion, pleasure. What's it? There's like, those are the main two that's on my mind right now. But passion and pleasure, like good things, you know what I mean? Like drive. It could also mean anger, you know what I mean? It could also mean blind. It could mean rage. It could mean darkness, deceit, right? And like, you could play on how you want. All right, I remember. So sorry, my phone did overheat, so you guys just have to hear the AC. I live in Florida. Like, what do you want me to do? I can't control the weather, but pretty much like, it doesn't matter how you see the best way, the best color, the best translation, the best way for you to understand life, for you to feel authentic in like within yourself, and feel very like grounded within yourself and within your spirit, within your mind, within your consciousness, within your life, within who you are as a person. That's what is very important at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter if it comes out in red, blue, white, black, gray, you know what I mean? Like, blue, you know what I mean? So like, it doesn't matter at the end of the day, because like, regardless, we all need all of the different types of colors in our lives, because we all are like a combination of all different types of colors. And like, colors as people, as religion, as music, as art, as this and that, as style, you know what I mean? Like, all of it is just colors, is ways of expression. And like, so stick with it. Like, find what like works out best with you. Don't let anyone else take that away from you. Understand that that's like who you are, and those are your colors, and that's who you are. And understand that those colors have both, there's two meanings. They have both, like, you know what I mean? They both have their positives and their negatives, as long as you are willing to display both of them, my guy. Like as long as you're willing to display like both of them, you know what I mean? Like, low key, like, I know that most like spiritual people and like religious people especially like preach about like the good news and everything, but at the same time you also have to understand that you are a human, so like you're a combination of both the good and evil, and you will never ever actually ever be able to be fully good. So embrace the shadow just as much as you embrace the light. You know what I mean? Like there's purposeful beauty in both sides, you know what I'm saying? So like whenever I got introduced, like for example, like whenever I got introduced into porn at like a very young age, and then how that trickled down into my life, into who I am now, and like how I'm using it now as like a mad tool to work on myself, on my spirit, and who I am as a person. At first you would ask me like years ago if I was like grateful. I couldn't tell you if I was grateful for like porn like years ago, but like now, you know, I'm grateful for the challenge that it's put on my soul, so I can like actually have something I can, like a stone that I can put myself against to work on myself, you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. So yeah, just, you know, find your colors and display both, and display them, you know what I mean? Like, what else do you want me to, like, what else do you want from yourself, low-key? How are you going to expect to understand the life and the universe around you when you don't even know who you are? You know what I'm saying? So, like, and that takes forever to understand. It takes a lifetime for most people. So, enjoy the journey. That's coming from a guy that I had to... Enjoying the journey, patience, peace, love, and you know what I mean? All that shit, like, I don't know. I don't know. It is what it is. It's draining. And did you know that? Like, being positive is draining, but also being negative is draining. So, there you go. All right, I'm gonna shut up. But yeah, just display your colors. Do that. And then see where that fucking, like, that leads you. And like, enjoy it too. You know what I mean? Like, take a step back away sometimes. I'm learning, you're learning, and that's what's important. That's what we're down here to do. So, peace.